Ooh, and Phazon opening up on the Kaya, so we're going to get the bow and the spear in the mix.
We see Phazon, the only one without a weapon so far, actually going to put some unarmed damage onto his teammate. There he picks one quickly up. Snowy coming out of the gate, wanting to swing that axe as hard as he can. Already has Phazon in the orange. This is a good start for this blue team.
It might be indicative of what happened last time, or in memory, whatever, parallel to what happened last time with Cody Travis and Phazon, where they had a rough start and then they started to find those follow-ups. They started to find that extra damage.
I mean, right now, all the damage is going the way of Cody Travis and Phazon. They're deep in the red. Snowy and Santy, they're looking for knockouts. They are poised, and you see the sandwich start to collapse. A little bit of friendly fire puts Cody in danger.
That was a nice side seat that came out from Phazon. There's a side air from Snowy. Cody sent down. Still living in this one, though. The unarmed neutral air not going to be enough to KO, but Snowy has an axe in hand. Now the weapon toss from really high hits Cody really deep.
Yeah, that was one of those, like, when you're hiking through a trail and your friend's in front of you, they hold a tree branch back and then, you know, they let go a little too early and whaps you in the face. That's what happened. Phazon dodged the weapon toss. Cody Travis took it right to the dome.
I almost think it would have been a good thing for Phazon to take that one to the head, just because, like, there's the multiplier on weapon tosses, right? The longevity of it, the time it's been in the air, increases the multiplier. So Phazon being higher up might have been better off taking it, but ifs and buts as Phazon gets the side air to even up the stock count.
I don't know. I'm beginning to think you're right because we just saw Cody Travis throw a weapon toss that hit Phazon in the head. What did he do? He turned that into a KO. So maybe Phazon should be the one taking those weapon tosses because he's making lemonade out of lemons.
All right, well, he took one there, and Cody ended up getting anti-aired for it. So who can actually say? Phazon down to second stock, Snowy down to second stock. Everybody's got to look over at Cody Travis. He's got the Barraza defense, but man, he is hurt.
Yeah, and that's going to be concerning as he is very close to KO for Sent, but he's doing a good job. You see him sitting a little bit further back, just trying to get those follow-ups, those interrupts, while Phazon is right in the thick of everything, and Santy starting to hunt, starting to chase Cody Travis.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Look, every time that they knock him away, even as damaged as he is, he was surviving, but they got so much time alone with Phazon where they pushed him into the red as well. And if they can just kind of keep alternating that back and forth, it's going to be hard for the red team to get stable footing.
Ooh, Snowy starting to swing the axe again. Found a nice 3-hit on Cody there. The sidelight from Phazon. Ooh, the dip down from Snowy to avoid the signature. Hit the unarmed recovery. Phazon taking some damage. Everybody's taking a lot of damage here. We are almost even. Cody is just a little bit behind Snowy in terms of damage on final stock. Oh, that neutral sig hit Cody.
Unfortunate. Phazon was going for the read there, but Santy actually dodged down and avoided that mammoth there. Nice swap there. There's an interesting option there to go for that jump ground pound. Snowy, though, in the edge guard. Phazon
Yo,
with
egg
2
drops.
egg drops.
How many egg drops you got?
It's got the whole soup.
All dozen.
Egg drop not quite as strong as it used to be. Good work from Phazon. He's going to have to fight the 1v2 as Cody was taken out shortly after that. But a lot of damage was done in that moment onto Snowy. He is in the orange, getting closer to red. Phazon's able to grab a weapon very quickly, which is good.
Yeah, look, he's going immediately for those bow ground pounds. We've seen it end stocks at white, at yellow. It doesn't take a lot. So if he gets a really great situation, he can actually just delete even Santy.
Yeah, definitely edge guard possibility there. And you can also see, like, there's those moments where he's thinking about hunting down Snowy, where he's kind of pushing forward, and Snowy's just like, I'm going to follow your movement and make sure that I can't get caught. Great damage being built up. Things looking bad for Phazon here in game number 1, as the down sig not going to connect.
Yeah,
He's
Phazon was
lasting.
quick to jump right over that, just dodge that hurdle.
He's lasting in the 1v2, but I wouldn't say that he's thriving. Santy and Snowy are playing it really well. Even though Snowy is pretty damaged, Phazon's found like 2 hits in probably 30 seconds. Meanwhile, Santy and Snowy haven't found this like beautiful clippable 2v1 moment, but still they've been playing it very well. The punishes have been strong. Even that leads to a weapon toss, sending Phazon over to the wall. That sidelight, they're going to be looking for that KO move. The dodge comes through. Santy is just killing with sidelight today. He's a big fan of that as a KO move.
Well,
yeah, he had that corner guard down on lock. And I've got to mention how Snowy was hanging in the back, juggling the 2 weapons to completely eliminate and delay any other weapon spawn. So it forced Phazon into this position where he had to go and stop that, or else he was just going to be unarmed the entire time.
Yeah, that is one of those mechanics of the game. I'm sure there's someone out there who is like, why is he just sitting there juggling? He's not helping his teammate. He's not doing anything. But really what he's doing is, like you said, no weapon spawn will happen while Snowy is juggling 2 and Santy's holding the 3rd. And Phazon is just left unarmed until he breaks that up, until he forces Snowy to drop one of those juggles.
And if we were looking at the damage numbers throughout that game at the end, Cody was like 300 plus. Meanwhile, everybody else in the game, including Phazon, was 600 plus. So Cody is going to have to step it up here, because it's not like a lot of that damage from Phazon just came out because he was in the 1v2, so he's the only person on red to put out damage. That was throughout the entire game. Cody might take Phazon out here saying, I'm going to make sure you do less damage than me.
The perfect save from Phazon, but man, he has taken so much damage. Couldn't even make it back there. That's 30 seconds in that he got knocked out just by pure distance.
Man, this blue team starting off big. They got team combo on Cody Travis. Phazon was able to interrupt for a moment, but he ended up falling for it as well. And Cody's adding more damage onto Phazon. They cannot afford that right now.
Nice pickup there, but it didn't lead to the KO. Santy's still living on this first stock. Snowy might be in the same boat. Santy's going to be taken out by the recovery. Are they going to get the KO follow-up here? They do. They're going to have technically the stock lead, but we got to look at Phazon. He's taking so much damage on this second stock. Cody might be taken out shortly. There's Cody's stock gone. They're going to go in the 1v2. Weapon toss to start it up. Phazon actually dipping under the stage just a little bit in case there was any pressure coming in from Santy and Snowy.
Swaps from Snowy, who was chasing. You saw him turn around looking for the ground pound onto Phazon, but like Sparky said, eyes are definitely on Phazon right now.
Yeah, you see him jockeying for position. He's got the spear for the extra range, so he's letting Cody kind of take that front line so that way he can come up for any quick handoffs, continue, get that damage build that they need to actually take a stock lead and reassert their dominance.
Phazon's finding some pretty good damage here. He's doing it out safely as well. You see the side light into the ground pound, so he didn't immediately go for the D-light after that, hoping for the KO, because that's what you might think Phazon would do, giving you the punish opportunity to take him out because he's so damaged. He's playing this really well, and it's led to everybody now being deep in the red.
But still, Phazon unarmed on this right side. He can't sit too far back because otherwise it lets the blue team go for the 2v1. No hits. There's the
flip
signature
kick just enough. That diagonal send, you know, usually it takes a little bit longer to knock out, especially from that far away from the corner. But Phazon had it at just the right time to score the efficient knockout.
All of a sudden we see this changing a little bit. Oh no, and it changes back. The red team was in the lead 4 stocks to 3. Now they're behind 3 stocks to 2 after some quick KOs. You see Snowy dipping down over on the side, even though he's extremely red, throwing out those nairs to zone the enemy away from above him. Oh, Snowy rotates in to help out, ends up taking a down air. Not going to be the KO move because he's still extremely damaged, but they might get this KO, or they might just take Santy out of the game. So much damage has come onto his final stock very quickly.
They're definitely looking for it. There's the recovery to take down Snowy. Santy on the left side. Disarm the Togo. Gonna launch him onto the stage, and suddenly Cody, Travis, and Phazon have the 1v2. Do they have the team combo?
You see them trying to set up the sandwich, but Snowy always keeping to the outside, the left of Cody Travis. Now, as he just goes to the other side of the stage, he's got to mirror flip it. He doesn't want to get caught in the team combos. He wants to bait them over the corner because the gauntlets are terrifying in open air. Oh no.
Snowy somehow got in, grabbed a weapon, and only took a spear neutral light from Phazon. That's kind of the best thing that he could hope for in that situation.
And you can see red team, of course, they don't want to challenge off stage. They don't want to risk maybe like a gravity cancel down 6, snapping someone on the top of the head. And Cody Travis so much so went all the way to the other side. That's like the 1v1 bait to just be like, yo, come up here so we can play neutral.
Yeah, right now you see Phazon and Cody Travis playing a mathematical game. They're saying, okay, Snowy, even if you tag our front runner every time you come up over the corner, if we can tag you back, we have twice the stocks. That's just a win for us. So they are happy to just kind of march that towards its inevitable conclusion. Snowy has to make something crazy happen here.
This seems to be the way they want to play their 2v1s. This is exactly what we saw with Experience and Made earlier when they were put into the 2v1, and Cody and Phazon were the ones with the number advantage. Snowy's doing a pretty good job here, but that is going to end it right there. He found some solid ways in, found some good damage as well going between the two, but it wasn't enough. That shows how difficult the 1v2 is, even when the other team doesn't have that perfect combo that'll take you 0 to death so quickly.
Man, this is what I want to talk about because there have been so many clippable moments. Phazon's spear off stage. That's got to be the best off-stage spear I have ever seen in my life.
It's so hard to do those spear edge guards, and the end result of that was Santy was relegated to like 297 damage. Meanwhile, everyone else putting 400, 500, 600 damage out there, and Santy not able to keep up.
I mean, he had the egg drop dozen. His neutral airs into the down airs are just so on point. Every time it's 3 hits for the edge guard at least, or your entire stock.
We'll see if Santy can do a better job of not being bullied out of this game. Yo, Snowy picking up a nice side signature there, then turning back, almost taking Cody off the top after the follow-up from Santy. He's still hunting for it. You saw the dare, wasn't ready to pick up the immediate ricochet off the ground. Cody extremely red. Yo, that side air all the way on the right side, sends Snowy flying. They're hoping to get this one. That one was so close to taking off the top.
What a great chase from Cody, Travis, and then a great chase from Phazon, right? Cody jumped alongside that signature to get that side air follow-up, bringing him back a little bit. Lots of people in the KO percent. The down sig, not quite enough.
Oh, wow. Snowy just mounting an offense, taking out Cody Travis for the first knockout, and the weapon toss, so that way Santy couldn't even get a solid anti-air.
There he grabs the D-Light into the recovery. You know he was looking for that before. He threw it out once previously. Phazon had a nice spot dodge on it to avoid it. That's when he took that weapon toss, thereby denying the KO and living just a little bit longer. Santy now has the bow in hand. Both members of the blue team extremely red. They're controlling the stage a little bit better. Oh my goodness, even that team damage, not even a big deal so far. It didn't send Snowy that far. Santy continuing this pressure, does knock out his teammate, but he also gets knocked out very quickly after. It's going to be a full team wipe, which means they're going to spawn in relatively at a similar time, also relatively at a similar health. So the 2v1 option when you hit a very red opponent away isn't quite as easy while they recover back to the stage.
Yeah, minimizing that power play opportunity, but Cody Travis is the one in trouble. He gets the wall touch, but he's disarmed again. He's sitting on the edge.
Man, Snowy has just been threatening with these signatures, trying to make an opening for Santy to just come on in and clean up a stock. But Cody and Phazon have been weaving their way around. Oh, dangerous off the top. Santy gets the turnaround.
Are they going to try and edge guard this to clean up the KO? No, they're going to go for the 2v1 situation onto Phazon. He is on final stock, so all the damage they add up will be a way to take Phazon out of this game. Santy really hoping to not do as little damage as he did previously. He wants to make up for that, go big for his team. Lead is still going to favor the blue team because Santy hasn't taken too much damage yet.
It's definitely still doable for either team, though, even though Cody Travis could get taken out from a neutral light, from an axe on the edge here. The sword neutral light going to launch him very far, and the recovery will finish off Cody Travis's second stock, but Phazon's the one who is in trouble. Deep red getting there on this last stock.
Oh, he's in that hot seat. You know he was thinking about trying to punish that signature, but with the blue teammate hanging in the wings, he didn't want to chance it.
Snowy was just too close there. Phazon is so worried about losing this final stock, leaving Cody into the 1v2, while there's still 3 stocks on the blue team side. Neutral light, blue team completely split. Snowy with the unarmed recovery. If he had a weapon, that would have been a KO. That recovery doesn't even send off screen because it's so low and he's unarmed.
Oh, Phazon threatening Snowy immediately over to the other side, but that left Santy open for Cody Travis to clean up.
Exclamation points coming out, though. Snowy running out of jumps. The hit actually going to help him out with that hit stun, that wall slip. But still, you got to bet on Phazon and Snowy. Who is going to fall first?
that side air, if it hit on the correct side of the stage, didn't bounce off the floor. Santy would have gotten the KO, but it did do all of those things. Snowy is going to fall first. Phazon cleaned him up. The recovery not going to take Cody off the top. The 2v1 is extremely doable for Santy, but he's having trouble finding these KO moves. They aren't in the right place. That down air is going to start it off. Now we have a 1v1. Santy all of a sudden in the lead.
Cody's getting that damage build. If he managed to hit that down light into dash jump recovery blasters combo, or even just his down signature, that could seal the deal. Oh, couldn't get it off the gravity cancel. Santy has another shot.
Was going for the chase dodge pivot and nair there, but didn't quite get the inputs. Stress getting to Cody Travis. Last stocks deep red. A D-light dash jump recovery could be enough. The weapon toss comes out. An X side air could be enough. Santy likely trying to find a sword for the neutral light. It's been his end game tool. There it is.
Let's go!
Weapon spawns at the end went to Cody each time. Santy couldn't find his way in. You said it. He wanted that sword. In came the weapon spawn on the left side. Guess who was right on top of it? Cody Travis.
I didn't have time to guess.
You were going to guess right. I just filled in the blanks for you.
Pretty confident. Game number 4 about to happen. Cody Travis and Phazon versus Snowy and Santy. This is anybody's game. This, by many accounts, should go to game number 5. We'll see if that holds true as we get right on into it.
Yeah, running it back. Mammoth Fortress again. Same legends again.
Now, the fact that these two teams are kind of this closely battling to see who comes out on top here, not a surprise. You and I both had Cody Travis and Phazon and Santy Snowy up there in our top 3s. Both had them right around the same spot. So this is definitely not surprising to anybody really out there. But man, it is still one heck of a set going on. This one starting off favoring the blue team. Again, Phazon taking a lot of damage here, but in the end, will it matter?
I don't know. That's the thing. He's been getting knocked out the earliest out of most everyone pretty much every single game. He takes a ton of damage. Even just last game, in the first 30 seconds, he got pushed into the red before anybody else took any damage at all. So him going down to his second stock is kind of on par, and if Cody and Phazon have the set lead right now, I don't know, is that good?
I mean, it's definitely something that at the very least Phazon's not uncomfortable with. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely been there time and time again. And at the end of the last one, right, he was technically still alive, maybe went a little too hard on the edge guard against Santy and lost that stock. But at the same time, he's got the confidence in the Cody Travis. But blue team, they've got the stock lead, 6 stocks to the 4 of the red team.
Jeez, when all 4 of them are on the field, you see it happen so often. Oh no, Phazon a minute and a half in, down to his final stock. But when everybody's on the field, damage happens so quickly because they're all hanging out in the thick of it. They get the team combo starters, but then it leapfrogs over, gets interrupted by Cody Travis. I can't believe it, the double knockout. Now he's got little bit of bringing this back, but Sparky, how are you feeling? I don't know. This
it's starting to slip away, that's for sure. With Phazon being on its final stock here, that's what really kind of turned the tide of this and away from certainly, at least at that moment that it happened, being anyone's game into a major blue team lead. But then Snowy came through and did a homie move for the red team by first taking out Santy and then losing his stock to Cody Travis. So still with Phazon being on final stock, I mean, we're seeing the damage build up and very little of the damage is on to Phazon. So we could find ourselves here with a much more even game very shortly.
Shout out to
Phazon with a big
moment.
mammoth.
Ooh, recovery interrupted. You saw the stars come out as Cody Travis was going for that low recovery, but Phazon's still taking a lot of damage that he cannot afford while he's on this final stock.
Big side air for Cody. See if he can find another one. It's a neutral light. Phazon doesn't quite get the follow-up, but it was unnecessary. Snowy hoping to slide as far as he could with that, but Phazon just ran away with it to overspace.
Oh man, they had the full extra sandwich. I mean, that was a double-decker. Snowy and Santy were sandwiching the entirety of the red team. You know they want to get these hits onto Phazon, knock him out, secure the problem. Oh, Cody couldn't get the save in time, and now Cody Travis has to cut through 3 stocks of the enemy team by himself.
You saw Snowy wanted that KO so badly onto Phazon. You saw Cody rotate over. All of the pressure that he was willing to put out there, Snowy was like, nope, I'm going to ignore you, pretend like you're not here. I'm looking at Phazon. We're going to take him out of the game, force the 2v1 situation.
And you see Santy recognizing he is the one on the final stock here. Playing a little bit further back. Snowy's going to come in just a little bit, but Cody Travis got 3 big hits onto Santy in the meantime, making this a little bit more possible, but he's fresh stock versus Snowy's fresh stock.
Yeah, I like how Cody Travis stayed right on top of Santy while Snowy was respawning, because he identified he needed that time because he's not going to get the luxury once both blue teammates are on the field.
Seeing blue team slip just a little bit. Santy tried to extend that 2v1 combo with the recovery when Cody was nowhere near that high in the air. Then there was a little bit of team damage that came out that gave Cody a little bit of a punishment. So it's still certainly not in his favor. That punish also going to be a little bit weak. These neutral airs, Cody's not that damaged. So the neutral airs are not going to send him that far that quickly.
No, but at the same time, it's still adding up. Every single trade is in favor of the blue team. Cody Travis already exclamation pointing. He's running out of those wall touches. Good spacing, not getting hit around here, but he's not putting out hits either.
Oh man, I'm really looking. Uh-oh, the double weapon bonk. Yeah, he identifies he didn't have enough to make it back. So we're going to move on into game number 5.
That was a very good punish in the end. I want to see that on the replay because Cody was floating in the air. Snowy was trying to zone him away with the axe neutral airs, with everything going on up there. The dodge came out. Santy knew it was an absolutely free punish for him. Here it is. That was the D-Light side air that came in from Santy after the burn dodge. The weapon toss is there. Cody doesn't have the dodge to get through any of that, and he is done.
Really good recognition from Snowy as well. You know, D-line side air, that's a classic sword combo, but Snowy staying underneath it, knows that it's going to launch a little bit down, so he goes for the chase dodge forward weapon toss for that extra follow-up hit because he wasn't in position for like a handoff side air or anything like that, and he managed to get extra off of it. Really well done. The concerning thing here being Phazon's relatively low damage put out. Whatever 255 plus 47 is, that's how much damage he was basically able to put out with his weapons.
And you can see the pace of these map bans for game number 5. Cody and Phazon really thinking about this one. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and just listen to their comms over what they're thinking for which map would best suit this matchup.
They even backed out and went back into it.
Oh my gosh.
This is the decision between a top 3 finish or not, basically, right? Like, whatever map this comes down to is going to be the map that they play game 5 on, and the winner of this goes on to fight Luna and Pugsy. This is a very important map pick as they leave 2 triplats and Apocalypse, and they say, no, just kidding, let's try this again. Maybe we do the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on.
Phazon has some thoughts. Cody has some different thoughts.
If you're looking at the in-game chat, which we can see, Phazon first said go back, and then Phazon said back in all caps, and then Cody Travis said back, and then Phazon said he messed it up. So I don't really know what they were really going for here. They wanted to leave 2 triple soft plat maps and then Shipwreck. That's an interesting spread.
Yeah, I think they're trying to force it to Shipwreck, but it's going to be Great Hall. I know a lot of players try to avoid the tri-platforms just because of how much space that leaves, not only for you to maneuver, but also to kind of get in the way of some of your descending attacks.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, usually when you leave the 2 tri-platform maps and then one that's like super not a tri-platform... Oh, Santy. Santy's he's going to take a little nap. Maybe he also didn't like the map picks, as this again it's got to be one of the most important map picks out there. I'm sure Foda has the number, but like this game is probably like a multi-$1,000 game. The winner of this goes into the winner's final. Like it's the difference between a guaranteed top 3 finish and a guaranteed top 6 finish.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. You know, going into winner's final, yeah, sure, it's possible to win the tournament from the lower bracket, but you get that extra nice reward of it's a double elimination tournament. If you come in from winner's side, you haven't lost a set yet, so you have that buffer set that you can use just to adapt, gain information. You know, you essentially have that second chance already stocked up.
Also, you don't have to go down there and fight Boomy and Sandstorm yet. You get to delay that possible fight till much later in your bracket. That becomes a problem for future you to worry about.
Oh man, so it looks like we are going on to Great Hall. First weapon, one for each team.
Yeah, Present You has to worry about the game. We are here in game number 5. Winner of this goes into the winner's final. Again, this is do or die, but off stage, Snowy already getting taken out a little bit by Cody Travis with the triple down airs.
Cody throwing out big axe bombs early on in this. Snowy taking a lot of damage here compared to everyone else in the game. Even takes the weapon toss there. That might have put him in a little bit of hit stun. Out comes Phazon's neutral light. A lot of weapon tosses coming out. We'll see if Snowy can turn a lot of those weapon tosses into actual damage. That's going to be where you add it up. But here comes Cody. Hits him in the back of the head. Oh, that neutral signature is going to be a very early KO onto Snowy. Everyone else in orange, that's a 45-second stock.
Man, it seems like Phazon is good for like at least one mammoth a game, if not more. Love to see it.
What a reaction on that one. That was off a down bounce from Cody Travis's axe recovery, and Phazon throws out the mammoth to get a big lead for the red team, and they've just got to maintain it, and they could be going into the winner's final. A nice follow-up here. He gets the D-Light side air. Cody couldn't quite get that side air.
So many weapon tosses coming out from Snowy, but he needs to convert these into KO moves or at least some more damage so that a D-Light Sair on the sword from Santy will KO instead of just getting close. Phazon grabs another stock, gets a nice notch on his belt there, and he's going to turn his sights onto Snowy, who is without a weapon and is now taking more punishment from Phazon.
Yeah, it seems like Phazon had taken all the beatings that he did in the beginning of every game this set and was just unleashing it here. He's like, yes, I stored up all that damage in myself, and now I'll let it unleash into 2 early knockouts. Cody Travis still hanging on, finally gets knocked down, but Snowy's already in the orange.
Yeah, Phazon playing like the Black Panther potential energy armor, right? Like he just eats all that damage, and now he's bursting out. And this is so good for Cody Travis and Phazon, because like that was the thing that we were critical of, right? Phazon falling a little too early, not being able to put out damage, and now he's keeping pace and outpacing his teammate.
The movement throughout this map is definitely favoring red. Phazon looks like he knows how to play on this map so well. He's comfortable on the Great Hall. He's doing a fantastic job of controlling that middle area.
Whoa!
Grabs another KO. That is all 3 KOs so far going to Phazon.
Make it 4. Make it 4. Let's go.
Touches. But the swap as he goes in with the mammoth. Phazon, very real possibility of getting all 6 stocks, acing the blue team as Santy's going to fall. Who gets credit for that one?
Phazon does. I don't care what the numbers say. Phazon gets count for that. Everybody at home, we're going to add 1 to Phazon's stock count.
Oh man, when Santy went for that ground pound, I was like, please don't let Phazon take yet another.
Yo, he could have
Phazon
done
looking
it.
Unstoppable. They've got a solid 2-stock lead over Snowy and Santy, and Snowy may not be long for the stage.
The weapon tosses. Cody Travis playing around it, but a nice D-Light ground pound, and Santy gets a D-Light down there. Final stocks here. There's still enough room for the blue team to come back and close out game number 5.
Yeah, this is game 5 for going into winners finals of the World Championship. This is absolutely massive.
The way it's been going so far, I'm definitely worried for the blue team if Phazon keeps it up as expected. Now we see why the map pick was so important for Phazon and Cody. Now we see why they went back several times to make sure this map was still on the board.
And it was definitely a very important decision, and they are happy with the one that was made. As Snowy in the red, in the back, he is so afraid to push forward as that side air bounces him across the stage. Both blue team members stuck on the wall.
Trying to find their way back. That's not going to be enough to do it. This stage does have a pretty tall ceiling.
Snowy has to play so defensively here. All he's able to throw out are weapon tosses because he risks so much by getting anywhere near the red team. Meanwhile, Santy's doing his best. Now he has to fight the 1v2. He has a bow in hand. It's going to be tough to find a KO there unless it's like a down air over the side. Otherwise, it's going to need to be a D-Light into a recovery, D-Light neutral air, which is going to be tough to KO with on this map.
The good news is that both red team members are very damaged as Santy gets the end sig. This could be huge. Can Santy close out game number 5? Phazon and Santy both in the red, both with a bow.
The fact that the sidelight from Santy picked up both members of the red team is the reason he might win this one.
Got over the weapon toss, got over the unarmed. The uppercut's not enough to do it. Santy arming up with the sword. Phazon went for the ground pound. He bet it all!
My gosh! Phazon falls to his death with the ground pound gambit.
He bet it all. TWK, you said it, and he did it. He bet everything on that ground pound. He wanted to win with the ground pound to punish, but it's a Koji. High dexterity means low recovery frames, means he got out of dodge and got the win. Game 5 goes the way of Santy and Snowy. They're going into the losers final. Or grand final, winners final, whatever. They're going everywhere.
I can't believe it. This winners final is just absolute upsets all over the place.
I can't believe we saw that just happen. I cannot believe we saw that just happen. Santy, we talked about how defensive Snowy was having to play because he was so damaged on his final stock. He still put out 452 damage, but the 2v1 from Santy, and I'm not